Before we get into the video, I would like to apologise for any background noise coming from the camera. Apparently, I may need to resort back to my phone. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Please excuse the background. I have tried to choose the best place in the room, but I have had to be near a plug socket because it's been that long since I filmed a video that my camera was so dead that even if you listen to my story that I put on Saturday, you will know I have already filmed this, but I zoomed in so much where I was trying to keep the camera on charge that it was blurry. So it's still on charge now, so hence why I'm sitting where I am, so that I'm not too zoomed in. But welcome back. Sorry it's been so long. I know I've only done one video. I had planned on doing a lot more, but unfortunately time ran away with me, and I think I was a little bit naive with how I would be able to do everything that I was planning on doing whilst running a business that we had just taken over. So apologies for being MIA. But yes, thank you all for voting on the poll that I put on my story. I will say I was leaning more towards doing a podcast, and I don't know whether that's just because I feel like it's easier. Like, I wouldn't have had any of this blurry problem because I'd just be talking, so it wouldn't have been a problem. And I feel like I can open up a little bit more, I suppose, rather than see my face. So yeah, I was leaning more towards doing a podcast, so I'm really glad I put that out because otherwise you would have had a podcast over a video, and clearly you guys wanted a video because absolutely no one voted for podcasts. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop babbling now. So I thought I'd better put a clip in here because I thought the camera battery had gone after I'd finished speaking, but apparently not. So I was actually just welcoming OJ to the family and just saying how much we all love and adore him and are so lucky to have him in our lives. I'm quite glad in a way because he was asleep yesterday and I didn't want to wake him up. But today, we're awake. Are you a good boy? Please excuse me rocking. If you get motion sickness, I do apologise. Are you a good boy? Yeah? Yeah, we're all absolutely obsessed with him. He's just such a little bundle of joy. Lola, you want to get in? Yay! Oh, she's getting her Wilbury. You got Wilbury? She loves him too, so... yes, that's all I was saying, was just how much we all love him and adore him and are just so lucky to have him in our lives. And I was just welcoming him really. But the camera interrupted me, so yeah, I didn't do another video to explain what had actually happened. So there we go. Yeah. So let's get into the video, shall we? Yeah. Change the angle of the camera again. It wasn't charging at all, so that's great. Yes, so let's get into the video, shall we? Obviously I explained that I had some exciting news to share with you all. If you have listened to the podcast, you may have listened to the episode I've done about the story of Guinness and I. You will know that episode I explained how much of a rocky journey we have had. So I won't go into too much detail, but he is a very sensitive horse. He finds things very nerve-wracking, and unfortunately I am quite a sensitive person myself, so my confidence was knocked quite quickly with him. We had an accident not long after I got him, and it just totally knocked my confidence to the point I had people coming to ride him ready for me to sell him. So it was a long old journey. I got him in 2018, June of 2018, and yeah, we're now 2023, so we've come up to 5 years now. So it's been a long journey for us, but he is my heart horse. I don't know how I can explain it because we haven't really done a lot, but I think because our journey has been so up and down, when we do get things like simple things like because of his injury, which I'll get into in a moment, he went a bit feral and he struggled with trusting anyone. So then when I managed to get a farrier to get round to him, I managed to change his rug for the first time again. It actually made me emotional. It sounds really bad and really pathetic, but because it had been such a hectic journey and he was so untrusting of people, I think it just meant that little bit more when he did then trust us. So I don't know whether maybe that's why I feel like he is my heart horse, but there we go. So as I mentioned, he did have an injury. I have mentioned all of this in the podcast in more detail, but I will just briefly touch on it. In May of 2020, he injured his patella ligament, and he went feral. He really struggled with all the vet visits. He never particularly liked injections anyway, and I was working with him doing clicker training to get him used to needles. And then he got injured and that just went totally out the window. So the original plan was in-hand walking, slowly build it up to the point where I would then be able to get on him and walk him on his back, riding him. But unfortunately, because of how feral he went and how much he struggled, it just was not worth risking either of us. He would have hurt himself further and I probably would have got hurt if we had continued with the original plan. So working with the vets, we both decided it was just worth turning him out for a little bit and obviously bringing him in where I was stabled. He was able to go out and then come in again overnight time. And we did that for a little bit. He found that very exciting. So in the end, he went into a stable that had a little pen out the front and he could still move about. And then that just helped him calm himself down a little bit, and it meant I had more time to work with him, getting him trusting me again. And we didn't have any of these explosive rears, boxing out and all sorts. So yes, it was a long journey. I mean, he got diagnosed. So although he injured himself in May of 2020, when we went to our personal vets, that sounds like I've got my own vet. No, I don't. But when we went to our vets, they couldn't find what was wrong at first. Because he doesn't like needles, he really didn't want them to nerve block him. He was fighting against all the sedation and it was just a vicious circle. So they suggested we tried box rest first. So we did that for a while. And then we just did small paddock turnout, which he coped with really well for that part. But by the time we had done all of that and then got referred to Rostow's, he didn't get diagnosed until August of 2020. And then he got the all clear from Rostow's again in 2021 in the August. So it was a year basically from the beginning to the end. But again, we were moving in the October of 2021, so we didn't bring him back into work then. I was planning on doing that down in Dover. But as I said before, time ran away with me. So I think I was very naive to think that even though I was leaving here at 5:30 in the morning, getting down there, I still wouldn't get there till about 8 o'clock. And then I would have to leave there at 3 p.m. to get home so that I didn't hit too much traffic. Sometimes I still wouldn't get back till gone 6, but that period of time between 8 and 3, although it sounds like a long period of time, when I had work to do, it just wasn't enough time to do the horses to the extent I wanted to. So obviously people that have brought horses back into work know that it's not a 5-minute job either, so it wouldn't have been worth risking him by rushing him. So it just never happened. And then I fell pregnant. It was a big shock to everybody, but I'm just so happy. I don't think I've ever I've told my close friends and stuff, but I've never mentioned it on here before, but one of my biggest fears was that I couldn't have children. Don't know why, it was just a thing that I had, just a fear that I had, so I'm so glad that I know that it's fine. And he is just absolutely perfect. We're all obsessed with him. He's just a little bundle of joy. So having him I had to rethink my job role, so I had close conversations with my family and a lot of chats about it. And we basically decided that I would do more of the admin stuff. It was fine whilst I was pregnant, but people that have had children will know that they do take up a lot of your time. They can't just wait. So if they wake up crying and they're hungry or whatever, obviously I have to go and feed him. Like, he comes first. So driving 2 hours every day to Dover just was not possible. Not with a newborn baby. Maybe when he's a bit older and things, I might be able to do it again, but at the moment it's just not possible. So we have now decided that my job role is admin, booking customers in, doing all of that side of things from Essex. So it's quite handy, really. It's nice that I enjoy that side of things, because otherwise I think it would be very, very boring. But I actually do enjoy it, so that's good. I still go down to Dover once a week, sometimes twice if I need to. But to be honest,
5 hours later,
I totally lost my train of thought there. I had to like regroup myself. Yes, so obviously I'm doing admin back in Essex. So that led to what I wanted to do with Guinness. I've always wanted to bring him back into work, and since Arj went, obviously he went when I was still pregnant, but I always said I will have another horse, and I will ride, because I don't want to give up yet. I'm not ready to. And unfortunately for me, it always seems like just when I start getting somewhere, something happens that stops that journey from continuing. So I think I've worked so hard to get Guinness back to liking people again and just loving life, that I think I owe it to him to try bringing him back into work, and I do feel like he will come back. So he is going to be rebroken. He's going down to Gloucestershire to someone that I've followed for years on Facebook, and I just love the way she works with the animals. She's just very cool, calm and collected. She doesn't rush anything. She very much listens to what the horse is telling you, and I just think if anyone is going to be able to work with Guinness and be able to bring him back to what he was before, it will be her. I just think she's what he needs personally. So he's going to go to her to be rebroken, so I'm so excited. I actually confirmed the date with her about an hour ago, I think, so I'm super excited for that now. Yeah, I'm not going to reveal that just yet, just in case anything goes wrong. But yeah, I'm so excited. I literally can't even tell you how excited I am. But him being rebroken leads to the next part. He's actually going to come back to Essex, so all of that moving down to Dover with him is being reversed. He's coming back here. And that is one because of my job role changing because of OJ, and it just seemed pointless him being up there. We still don't have a school at the moment. I hired one for a while when I took Arj to it. I don't know whether I put a video about that. I think I might have done. But yeah, I took Arj to it once, but it ended up being about a 20-minute hack, which is fine when they're in work. That's like your warm-up bit, I suppose. But by the time I would have got Guinness down there, it would have been way too stressful. Just bringing a horse back into work, it just wasn't going to work. So, yeah, we decided to bring him back to Essex. So he will be coming back here after he's been rebacked, and I can continue his training. I will be going down to Dover 2 to 3 times a week. I don't know whether my sister is planning on getting another horse, to be honest. I think that's another reason why he's coming back this way. I feel really bad that because I can't get down there as much anymore, she's having to do him for me. So it just makes more sense. I won't feel as much pressure to help her out and stuff. Not help her out, but I just feel completely guilty that she's having to do him every day. But yeah, I think she's got a lot of plans that she wants to do because she now lives down there, and I think it would be nice for her to have that area as just solely hers. and she hasn't got to deal with me. And she hasn't got to deal with Guinness when he's in one of his quirky moods. So he's going to come back here so I can continue working with him. Oh, we're waking up. I'm going to have to go and sort him out. So I don't know if I have actually mentioned before on our channel or not, but the property that we bought came with a pool, and we have always had the plan to transform this pool into a hydrotherapy pool for dogs and small animals. So that is hopefully going to happen next year. I want to say it's going to get started this year. I doubt it'll be finished this year, probably be next year now. So I don't know, whenever it happens, it's happening. Once that's happened, I'll be going down there 2 to 3 days a week anyway, because I'll be doing hydrotherapy. But it just means that the other days that I'm back here, I have Guinness, and it works better that way. I have more time for him down here than I would up there. Because although I was leaving at 5:30, like I've said before, that sounds like a long day. By the time I got there and then had to leave again, it just wasn't a long period of time. So it just gives me more time with him and means I can do a bit more with him as well. And by me doing more admin-y stuff and having set days when we do start the hydrotherapy, I will have a bit more flexible time so that I can do stuff with him. And fingers crossed, he does get back out there and we can go and have fun together. That is just my main aim. So this leads me on to where I want to take the channel. Obviously, when I first started this channel, it was about our move to Dover, well, to the countryside. I hadn't actually found the property yet when I first started this. I have got so many old clips from when we were viewing properties, and I was planning on doing all of that and then we found the property and then the moving and everything. But again, time just, it didn't happen. So it would have ended up being like a 2-hour long vlog. And as I'm not splitting it into days and things because I just didn't think it was worth it. So that's why that didn't happen. But again, yeah, it was meant to be to do with the move. It was going to be not between me and my sister, because I never actually spoke to her about doing it, but obviously her horses would be on it as well, her dogs. Obviously Boise is meant to be my dog, but I think Mum has claimed him now. I've sort of resigned myself, is that the word? Something like that, to the fact that he is my mum's dog. He definitely loves her more. She can go out and he'll just sit there pining for her. So, yeah. So I've just got me and Lola, and obviously Guinness when he comes back. So I'm thinking it's going to be more just equestrian based now. It'll just be probably about mine and Guinness's journey. Hopefully get some, I don't know, get some like footage and things. Hoping to get Pivo actually. I have been looking into them, but I'm not going to do anything too hasty until he's been backed and I know what's going to happen. And I do know for one that I do definitely need to get a new camera, because listening to these, the microphone and the sound just sounds rubbish. And obviously when I zoom in, it clearly doesn't give me a clear picture, which I found out from doing it earlier. So here we are. I'm going to need to do that as well. You guys don't care about that information though. So that is my next thing. I don't know whether to change my name. So I think I'm going to ask you guys that one. I'm going to put an Instagram poll up again and see if you guys think I should change the name, because obviously the name was based around what I was planning on doing before. So now it does make sense, but also if it's going to be solely about myself, Guinness and Lola will probably feature here and there, then I just think maybe the name might need changing, but who knows? So we shall see. I'll see what you guys think on that one. But yeah, I think I've covered everything. Have I? Yep, Guinness is going. Channel's changing, and he's going back to Essex. Yeah, I've covered everything. Oh, that was actually quite an easy one in the end, once I figured out my situation. So yeah, I think that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Sorry if I blabbered. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all soon. Bye!